Hi, welcome to the Mammoth Tech Show and our second video dedicated to parkrun.
Today we'll be looking at results processing.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
I'm Frankie.
And as I said, this is our second video dedicated to parkrun. Our first video was basically what is parkrun and how do you start parkrunning, and if you'd like to see that, have a look at the link in the card up there. But today, as Frankie said, we'll be talking about results processing, which sounds quite daunting. What are we going to be doing today, Frankie?
Well, it's first things first, it's not daunting at all.
That's good.
But basically what we're doing is putting the positions, the times and the athlete numbers all in a big melting pot, and the computer does the rest for you, and that's what gives you your finishing positions and the results that go up on the parkrun website at the end of each parkrun.
Okay, let's get on with it. So Frankie, how do you become a parkrun result processor?
Well, it's quite simple really. The results processor is actually one of the volunteer roles at every parkrun.
Okay.
A lot of people are put off by it because obviously it sounds quite daunting and quite important because you are processing the results from the parkrun, and a lot of people are dependent on wanting to know their times, etc. One of the benefits of the role, however, is that it is one of the few volunteer roles that you can take on as well as do the run, because it's the last thing that's done on any parkrun weekend.
Yes.
You can do your run first and get your counting towards your club or your run milestones, and then you can come and do the results processing and get a token towards your volunteer milestone as well. So
Excellent.
there are a few roles that allow you to do that, and results processing is one of them, and I'm just going to show you today that actually it's not that daunting a role.
And we have a fair bit of equipment on the table here today.
Yes.
We need all of this?
We do need all of this indeed.
Righto. So what have we got?
So all of this, first things first, is provided to your event director when your local parkrun is set up. So
Okay.
First and foremost, for results processing, you've got the parkrun laptop.
Okay.
So the results processing has to be done on this laptop because it's got the programs to be able to download the times from the...
So you can't do it on your laptop at home?
No, not this particular role.
Okay.
So you then have your stopwatches, which hold your time. So most parkruns will have two. Your main stopwatch and a backup stopwatch.
Very sensible. Yeah.
It's a good idea to tag your main stopwatch because
so don't get it
more
confused.
often than not, when you're uploading the results, it will only accept one stopwatch file. So really, you just want to be uploading from your main stopwatch.
And
the backup is there
just in
case anything goes drastically wrong, like
Fair
the battery runs out on this one or anything like that. The other bits that you will need are the barcode scanners.
Okay.
Each parkrun is provided with two of them. I think you can get more. I know some parkruns have 3 scanners, but we've only got the 2 for the minute. And this is obviously, these hold the positions and the athlete numbers.
Okay.
So you need to collect all of these from your fellow volunteers before you begin results processing.
So Frankie, if you want to do results processing, can you just say that you want to do it on the day, or do you need a bit of preparation?
No, it's best to request it in advance.
Oh, right.
Because you need access to the live systems to be able to upload the results, and I believe parkrun need to give you the access to do that.
Okay. So parkrun
given
need to be
access,
told, so you get access to the required system on parkrun.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And once you've got access to the systems, you get access to 2 systems. There's a test system and a live system. The test system will completely mirror the live system, but it doesn't matter what you do in there.
Oh, okay, because it's a test system.
It's a test system. You're not going to be, you're not going to be mucking any results up that have previously been put in. Now, the way you can tell the difference is on here, the test system has got a little green icon.
Oh, okay.
And the live system, if I just select the tab that's got the live system on it, has a little red icon, and it has a little red banner across the top that says caution, this is live. Just so you know, the test system has got a green banner on the top. One little tip I will give everyone out there is make sure when you're actually doing the downloads on the day that you're doing it into the live system and not into the test system.
Yes. So where does the result processing normally take place?
Well, the results processing will normally take place in the same place as the barcode scanning. So
wherever it is for your parkrun.
Wherever that is for your local parkrun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once you've logged into the system, what do you need to do?
So just to bear in mind, your login will always be your athlete number.
Yeah.
And then your password that parkrun will ask you to set up will be the password that you use to go into your parkrun profile.
Okay.
On the thing. So once you're into the system, as I say, the test system has got this green banner along the top. The first thing that you will need to do is choose your event. So for me, I have access to do the results processing for 2 events, so it's even more important for me to make sure that I choose the correct event that I'm doing the results processing for, because the other event won't be very happy otherwise.
So we're successfully logged in. How do we get the information from all bits of equipment into the system?
Right, okay, so the first thing that you need to do is when we first got given all the equipment, we were given cables.
Yay, cables.
Yay, cables. So you need to make sure you've got all the relevant cables.
Yes.
The stopwatches and the barcode scanners take different cables.
Obviously.
And yeah, it'd be too easy if they took the same one. So the barcode scanners take a mini USB, and that's just into the side of them here.
Okay.
And the stopwatches take a micro USB, and that's just in the bottom of them there.
Okay.
It doesn't matter which way you do the downloads, but for the purposes of today's video, we're going to download the stopwatch first. If there'd been any issues with the timekeeping during the event, your timekeepers will let you know, so you know which stopwatch is the most accurate. You know, if you've had anyone duck out, sometimes they go out of sync a little bit. So for the purposes of this video, we're just going to use the master stopwatch.
Okay.
So you plug in your little mini USB into the bottom of the stopwatch. Okay. You plug in the little micro USB into the bottom of the stopwatch. I'm constantly getting those two confused. It's a bit of a fiddly fit into the bottom of the stopwatches, I have to say.
This is why they invented USB-C.
This is why they invented USB-C, yes. So anyway, once you've wiggled your micro USB into the bottom of your stopwatch, you've then got your normal USB that you plug into the side of your laptop. Now I've got a 50-50 chance of getting this right, and I normally end up getting it wrong, but first time first. So yeah, so then we go into the stopwatch download icon, double click, and it should open up like this.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, you've got different pictures of different stopwatches.
Yep.
So you select the icon for the stopwatch that you've got. So the stopwatch that we have is this one in the top left. So we double click and open that. So once you've opened up the program, you get instructions here that tells you plug the stopwatch in, which we've done. You've put your micro USB in, put your thing in. Then it will tell you to press the mode button on the stopwatch until you get a screen saying upload all. So the mode button is this little black button here, this little single button on the front. So you basically press that and cycle through all of the screens until you get to a screen that says upload.
Okay, what if you don't get that? What might have happened?
Well, if you don't get that and it says upload 0, it basically means that the timekeeper forgot to save all the times after they've stopped the timing.
Is that disastrous, or can that be?
It's not disastrous.
Oh, good.
It's happened to me a couple of times.
Okay.
Freaked me out completely. But basically all you do in that instance is you go back to the screens where you've got all the positions and all the times, so all of these zeros. You basically press the button on the top left, the reset button, and that will save all the times, and then you can go through and it will then say upload.
Okay, right. Okay.
That's all it is. It doesn't mean that they haven't saved any times at all.
But if you do have a bit of a panic about anything, is a backup available?
Yes. So every weekend there's a very helpful person in Parkrun HQ technical support.
Yeah.
When you log into the results system, there's a telephone number there that you can call. If you've gone past that screen and you can't find it, you can just look on, there's other screens on here that you can look at. But there's always someone really helpful in Parkrun HQ that will be there just to calm you down and talk you through any issues.
They've probably seen it all before.
Yeah, I mean that's how I discovered it doesn't like the stopwatch and the barcode scanning programs open at the same time, because it wouldn't accept my barcode scanners. And I did a complete freak. But I phoned them and they were like, have you got the stopwatch program open still? And I was like, yes. He's like, if you close that, and then it immediately recognised the scanners. So,
so there is backup for you.
There's always backup there.
Brilliant.
In Parkrun. And I mean, you've always got your fellow run directors and your event director as well for support and backup. If something goes seriously terribly wrong, which I know it has done, not for us but in other parkruns, there's means and ways. There's means and ways around it. So we've got to the screen that says upload all, and then it basically says press the stop button and the stopwatch will start the upload. So the stop button is the one on the top right, so we press that, and then as you can see here, the screen here says ready for upload, and it also went through, and it says here click to save. So you basically literally just click on there and it tells you where it's written it to, so everything gets saved into the data sources folder on your laptop. That's the same for every parkrun, so once you've got this result processing down pat for one parkrun, you can do it for any. So click on OK. That's it as far as stopwatch goes.
Unplug.
So you can unplug both bits, because as we've previously discussed, that cable is of no use for any other business.
No.
I always put stuff that I've already downloaded to one side so that I know that I've done it.
That's good.
Also, make sure you then close that program, because you won't be needing it again. So you then get your other cable and you plug the end. So first of all, what we'll do before we plug anything in is you open up the barcode one, which is called Parkrun Barcode DL, so you can open that one. Again, this is a really simple screen. It talks you through the whole process. So it takes a while to load. When it loads up, it says it's waiting for your Parkrun registration scanner. So what we'll do is we'll plug the USB into the side of the computer. And then we'll plug the... Did we decide this was a mini?
Yes.
We'll plug the mini USB into the bit that's on the side of the barcode scanner, and it will say connecting, and it will make some happy beeps, and then it will tell you that it's downloaded. So you do that process, you unplug it once one's done, and you do that process for however many barcodes scanners you have. So just to talk through it again, we've got your barcode scanner, you've got your mini USB, you plop it into the side like that, it says it's connecting, makes some happy beeps, and it then tells you that it's downloaded all the records.
Excellent.
As soon as you've got to the one that says however many records downloaded, you know you're done. So again, what you can do is just unplug all that now, all your downloads are then done, so put all of that to one side.
And then close it down.
And close that. So now you've got that. So that saves those files into the same place that it saves the stopwatch files.
Data sources.
Data sources.
Okay.
So once we've done that, we can go back into the system here. Now remember, we're in the test system for the purposes of today's video.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got some options here. You can create.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find the cursor. Yeah, you can create, which is what we're going to do today.
Mm-hmm.
You can edit. So if you were, say, in the live system and someone emails in and says that their time or their finish token position didn't register for some reason, and they email you in with their barcode number, you would go into edit, because that means you can just update some positions. The third option you've got here is to reprocess. So if something went absolutely direly wrong, you can just reprocess from scratch. So we're just going to create some results today. It tells you that you're creating, and then on what event we're creating it for, what's the date and what event. So it says, obviously, today is Friday the 26th. It would obviously normally be a Saturday. So then we can click next. It will tell you that you've noticed that the date specified of Friday is not the usual day of the week for this event.
It knows it's not a Saturday.
It knows it's not a Saturday.
It on a Saturday.
Yeah. So this is, as I say, this is a test system, so it doesn't really matter what we plug into it. So we press continue. It then asks you whether there were any incidents during the parkrun.
Which the run director would probably tell you about.
If there were any incidents, then the run director will tell you, but all incidents need to be recorded to parkrun. But for the purposes of this video, most of the time you'll be saying, hopefully, continue with results, because we haven't had any incidents. So then the next screen that you have is click to upload barcode and timer files.
Okay.
So we'll click on here, and it will immediately take you to the data sources folder.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then it will be under the C drive, and then there'll be a shortcut to data sources. But most of the time it will already come up. So and it will be sorted by the date modified column. So you'll expect to see normally 2 barcode files and a timer file
for that day.
For
the day you're doing it.
You may have different format barcode files to download as well, but we'll go into that later. If someone's been using the app to do the barcode scanning, then that will be saved separately as well.
That's a
because
slightly different thing.
You have to import that slightly differently. So you want to select all 3 of these files. So you click on the top one, you press shift, and then you click on the third one, highlights them all, and you can click open. And it will then tell you here that the status is complete, so it's put them all in properly. Apparently we've got some errors on the barcode scanners.
Okay, do we panic now?
No. So we can view those if you want to view them, and it will tell you what the errors are. So there's an invalid or missing finish position on one of these. Invalid or missing athlete IDs on there. So
you'll often get these.
You'll often get anomalies, because sometimes people's, as we've previously discussed, if people haven't laminated their barcodes, they're going to get wet, they're going to get sweaty, then they don't, and they haven't read properly. In which case, those details are taken down separately on a separate piece of paper, and they're given to you prior to you doing this process.
So you can manually input them.
You can manually input them, and then you can cross-reference. So we will then click next, and it will then show us all of the results.
Right.
That is literally all there is to it. So on here, you've got a little table over here. So where it's all green, all those positions, no problems at all.
That's good.
Where it's yellow, you've got anomalies. So you'll need to marry that up with the sheet that I've just said will be given to you for those people that barcodes wouldn't scan. You enter those in manually, and then once you've entered all of those in, everything else is just left as an unknown, and we just have to assume that those people didn't want to time. If that's incorrect,
they might have been people who just didn't want a time. They popped their token into the bucket. They didn't want any. Where
it's red, like we can see, this bottom one is red. It means that there is an issue that needs to be resolved As you can see from here, we've got an athlete number, but we don't, and we have a position, but we don't have a finishing time.
Right.
So I assume what happened was that they just it was the tail walker that went through, and they just stopped the timer before they beeped his timer.
Right. Okay.
So what you can do is manually input the time. So let me just show you how to do that here, because this is how you edit any records. So you have to make sure it's in the right format, and for the purposes of this it doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to put in, so you have to put a semicolon, then your minutes, then another semicolon, your seconds, and then it's a dot, and then I'm just going to pop it in as like a 1 digit on from the last person, just so that it will save it. And then once you've saved the record, you press the pencil icon to update now.
Yep.
It will then come up and tell you you're about to change the time into that position from no time to a time. If you've changed an athlete ID from no athlete ID to whatever athlete ID, it will give you a similar message. It's basically just asking you to confirm what you want to do. So you then click OK, and you can see then that record has changed from red to green. And we'll just assume, as I say, once you've married everything up from the other sheet, that everything's there. Now what you would then do is press finish, and that will upload the times to Parkrun HQ.
That's good.
They check everything, and it will then appear on the website later. As soon as you hit finish, everyone will get their email and text message, however they've been told they want to register. And then it will then ask you to confirm the volunteers as well. So the volunteer rosters are all done on the same system by the volunteer coordinator of that week.
That should all have been done in advance.
That should all have been done in advance. If there's any amendments to the volunteers on the day, then the volunteer coordinator should tell you, and you can then amend the system. But that's another role and another thing altogether. So once you've pressed finish, it will then ask you to confirm the volunteers. You then confirm the volunteers, and they'll get their texts and emails as well. For the purposes of this video, I'm not going to confuse Parkrun HQ and upload it.
Yes, because they do alert you if you do accidentally send it to the, as we discovered. Yes, if you do accidentally send it to the test system, they are kind enough to tell you.
They are kind enough to tell you, which is another thing, is don't be scared to contact Parkrun HQ if there's a problem. As I said before, I'd accidentally left the stopwatch program open and it wouldn't recognise my scanners.
So when should we wipe the information, and how do we wipe the information from our little scanners and stopwatches?
Right, okay, so once basically you've pressed finished, everything's been uploaded to Parkrun. Normally the emails and text messages are instantaneous. So if you're volunteering or you're normally with someone who's run, and they go, oh look, my results have come through already. As soon as you know the results have started filtering through, you can then wipe all the data from the system, but you don't need the computer screen anymore. So now we've got this far.
We can close that down.
We can just shut it down. So we'll just close that down for now. So as I was saying, once all the emails and text messages and stuff are filtered through to people, you can go ahead and clear the memories from the stopwatches and the barcode scanners so that they're ready for next week. It does vary per parkrun, per results processor. Some people are absolutely paranoid and want to wait until the middle of next week in case there are any issues.
Fair enough.
But you've saved the data off into the computer, so there isn't really any need to keep hold of these again. So basically how you would wipe the results from the stopwatch. So the last screen you would have had the stopwatch on was upload all or upload naught. So you basically keep pressing the mode button until you get through to the screen that has the number at the top. In this case it's 307 and a ton of zeros, which is basically the timing screen. You press the center button, the recall button, once, and then that changes to this screen. So you have, so it changes to a screen that looks like this, and then what you do is you press and hold the start-stop button until the beeps stop.
So keep it pressed until the beeps stop.
Stop until the beeps pressed, and then the screen will change and show you that you've got 500 positions left in the stopwatch.
Okay.
Once you've cleared it, it goes back to having 500 positions free on the stopwatch, and then you can just press the mode button and keep it going round.
Okay.
And it goes back to the beginning.
Zapper?
And the zapper. So on the zapper, you'll see that there's a little tiny little recessed button here. And you basically get your finger in on that and press and hold it. Takes a while. Just keep it pressed until it does a beep like that, and then it's clear.
So what happens if you forget that, or you've got a different type of stopwatch?
Okay, the key thing to all of this is don't panic. There's a wealth of information out there to help you. The best site is a site called Parkrun Wiki. If you're doing the results processing and you have the Parkrun laptop with you, it's one of the tabs that's preloaded into the computer for you. There are also some files preloaded into the computer to help you with the barcode scanning and the different stopwatches. But Parkrun Wiki would be your first port of call, and that tells you everything and anything you want to know about Parkrun, really, about results processing and things like that. That also has the number for Parkrun HQ technical support. They've been there, they've done it, they've seen it all. I mean, some parkruns out there have been, as we've already discussed, Parkrun's been established for 14 years, so there's not very many issues that they haven't come across in the history of Parkrun. So you won't be the first person, hopefully, with the issue that you've got, and they're really friendly, and they'll get back to you. So hopefully that's clarified things and taken away any stress and nerves that you may have had, and it means that you can now go ahead and volunteer to be result processor for your local parkrun.
Right, so that was Parkrun result processing on the Mammoth Tech Show. I've been Jeff.
I've been Frankie.
And you've been very kind to watch. Thank you very much.